What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Happy Thursday, May 20th to all of you. Thank you for watching Betting with the Bag right here on Pub Sports Radio. A middling day, 3 and 4 down, 1.59 units in MLB. So this is the first day that we've started a show where I'm down overall in MLB units, sadly, very, very sadly. And we have to rectify that immediately. 110 wins, 97 losses, down 1.03 units, ROI minus 0.50%. And disappointing, but we can fix it. Disappointing. Cardinals minus 1.5, a plus 100 easy casher. Brewers minus 1, minus 135, a loss. Cardinals first 5 minus 1, a plus 100, a casher. Brewers first 5 minus 1, a minus 104, a loss. Rockies first 5 plus a half, a plus 125, a loser. Rockies team total over 2.5, minus 120, a loss. Nationals first 5 minus a half, a minus 125, an easy casher. Thankfully, NHL was a good day, plus 1.25 units. And we're now plus 4.19 units in NHL on the year. ROI plus 1.41%, 146 to 152, hitting at 49%, but the average line plus 115. But NBA cannot get right. In NBA, and especially the last 2 weeks, just it seems like I'm falling apart in NBA. Upsetting. But a new day is here. We have afternoon basketball. We have one game, or afternoon baseball. We have one game in NBA, and then we have beautiful NHL playoffs. And Mr. Gokster will be making a special appearance, a guest starring appearance on the show to help us break down NHL. And our producer, Jose, on the ones and twos will be joining us for Jose Sehe play of the day. Day 3, he's off to a rough start. But I believe in the young man, and we need to shower him with positivity, and that's how we're going to start when we bring him on. We're going to give him some positive affirmations, let him believe in himself here, because capping can get away from you. We need Jose. Let's shout out to everybody joining the show. Thank you guys so much for being here. Christopher Gargaro, morning all 3 for 3 early MLB props last 2 days, so let's keep it going. Trey Turner and Kiner Falefa today, both over 300 versus right-handed pitching, 345 in day games, hit safely in 17 of 20. Ooh, I like it. Trey Turner and Kiner Falefa for Christopher Gargaro. There's Matty Ice, star of the taint play of the day. Yeah, it was frustrating because Chichi was excellent, as we expected him to be. And if that was the case, I wish we had to kind of double back on a first 5 under or something of that case, because it was a great call on Chichi. He's really stepping up. Christopher Gargaro also looking at Sid Mullins, another good over 1.5 bases at plus money. There's Eric Chang ready to get to work. Viper ready to go. Willie Vegas has baseball card and stuff today. I've only made one bet so far, and that's on one of our afternoon games, the Rays game, but we will get there. There's David Summers in the house. Razor sharp picks. That 20-1 bomb was gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous from Razor Sharp Picks. What a fun time it is with Razor Sharp's show, especially now that we have Emerald Downs late at night. So we get to be on together till 12:30 in the morning. So it's extremely fun. Razor Sharp Picks, they'll be back at it again, and I'm going to jump on for the last few races at Emerald Downs, as many races as I can. But it was very, very enjoyable, and great job on the under. Great job. There's Brandon Lugo in the house. We got Sean Mosler ready to eat. Matty Ice, it seems like when we lose, it's been a tough, close one lately. Yeah, man. I mean, look, it's an incredible record that you have on Taint Play today, and we believe it. And I can't wait to hear what taint is on today. There's DC ready to go. The Czar in the house. Guillermo Zertucci. Max on record. It's time to punish your son going 0-2 is pathetic. No, it's not pathetic. Come on, Max. We're not pathetic. Come on, 0-2. I mean, the 2 bets. The sample size is very small. We're not even close to pathetic yet. Come on. Spenny Pennybomb 6-0 last night in NHL. Unbelievable, Spenny. Great job. It was very frustrating watching the Capitals give away another one. Although, I just have the futures on them. I don't have any day-to-day action, but very, very disappointing. And I'm not entirely sure what to make of what Ovechkin was yelling at Samsonov there in overtime. He needs to be a leader. He needs to support exactly what we need to do for Jose. I need to be a leader for Jose and give him positive affirmations here. The Czar ready to get to work. Renee says waiting for the team total for the Nets to come out. Oh, sorry, Nets. You mean the Trevor Williams spot. So you mean Nats, Cubbies. Okay, for the Nets, I feel you. Walla Walla Dose in the house. Mikey P, who I get to share the screen with on Razor Sharp's horse racing show, and he comes on my horse racing shows. Love working with Mikey P. All right, we've got a lot of work to do. There's my guy Jacksonville Zoe. Said my day would have been so much better if it was not for a solo home run on the taint and a half point on the fresh play of the NHL saved me lately. Yeah, it was tough. Dutchie's freshest look, which is so strong, misses by a half point. And NBA, I just want to stay off of so badly. There's Mr. Gother. He will be jumping on the show when we break down NHL. Great to see you. Jason Albert in the house. Just my 2 cents. Polo this, polo that. David Sharp in business already. Yankees first 5 money line minus 125. Full game minus 1 plus 115. Nats first 5 plus 100. Miami, Philadelphia first 5 over 4. Red Sox first 5 plus 115. Red Sox team total over 4.5. Let's copy and paste our guy Sharpie's action here. Let's grab it. Here we go. David Sharp making moves on a Thursday. I will pop that in here so we can discuss it with the group. Thank you for sharing it with us. There's North Ender Robert Allen. Today's my birthday, boys. 35 years old, getting older. You know what? It gets better. Early 30s were struggle for me. Things get better and better. Don't worry about getting older. Life gets better. It gets better. You get wiser. You make smarter decisions. You know, trust me. First off, happy birthday, Robert Allen, and don't worry about getting older. How about that? And we're going to need a birthday pick for our Robert Allen. Let me get that in my notes. Robert Allen. And was talking with Loshak last night. Going to be back in action very soon. We're just nailing down a couple things, dates and certain things. But that is his department, Peter Loshak's department, birthday picks. Great to see everyone. All right. Robert Allen getting the love that he so deserves. Polo this, polo that. Akbar Saloev, Fat Wally in the house. Great to see you, Fat Wally. And Christopher Guerrero said Peterson from Mets over 5.5 Ks was discussed to 5 Ks in the 5th and gets pulled with 62 pitches. Yeah, it's the NL pitchers. It'll hurt you when they go to a pinch hitter early. Leroy Flood ready to go. Ilya Katz in the house. The puzzler ready to go. Okay, let's get. Oh, there's Gerardo Hernandez, whom we've missed. All right, Bob Taylor, Jason Albert. It's time to get to work. Patrick Peebles coming with the parlay of the day. Yankees money line, Red Sox money line from Patrick Peebles. All right, let's get to work right now. We start in MLB. This is the first day that we've started a show where I'm down over 1 unit. There's been a couple days where I ended up down 0.30 units to start a day. We have never got up double-digit units. It's been a battle, but we're sitting 110 and 97, minus 1.03 units after going down 1.59 units yesterday. Let's fix that right now. We start at 12:35 p.m. Eastern. San Francisco Giants, 27 and 16, 13 and 12 on the road at Cincinnati Reds, 19 and 22, 10 and 10 at home. We're at Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati, Ohio. 80 Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy, 5 miles per hour. Sideways, we have Johnny Cueto and Tyler Mahle. Cueto, 2-1, 3.62 ERA, 1.24 whip, 27 in the third, 22 Ks, 5 walks, 2 home runs. In his last start, he went just 4 in the third. He allowed 8 hits, but he kept the damage minimal. 2 earned runs, no home runs, 0 walks, 2 Ks, and 8-6 loss at Pittsburgh. Tyler Mahle's been very good this year. We've been waiting for this to happen. The Reds have been waiting for this to happen. 2.93 ERA, 1.14 whip, 43 innings, 52 Ks in those 43 innings, 15 walks, 7 home runs. In his last start, he won 7 innings, 7 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 home run, 0 walks, 4K, in a 6-5 extra inning win at Colorado. It was very impressive to do that in the thin air at Colorado. Giants are hitting 220.705 OPS versus righties. Reds are hitting 256.768 OPS versus righties. Giants bullpen 4.28 ERA, 1.28 WHIP. Converted 18 of 30 save opportunities. Reds bullpen 4.97 ERA, 1.35 WHIP. All right. Viper MB says Stoll's gone over in 6 of Cincinnati's last 8 games when playing at home against San Francisco. Razor Sharp says 50 likes and Jimmy does a shoey. I probably should prepare a shoey, get some beer. You know, I'm a bourbon and whiskey guy, but I've been impressed. I've been very impressed with Nick's shoeys. Very impressed. Bleds W says Reds run line plus 140. David Sharp has a very important note here. John Cueto goes home today. He has done surprisingly well versus the Reds when he has faced them. All right, let's look at the market moves here first. We have Molly and the Reds opening up at minus 135. At Pinnacle, they're now at minus 142, so a 7-cent move over there. We have the under 8.5 juiced to minus 111 as an opening line. The over 8.5 is now juiced at minus 114, so a move towards the over. Matty Ice says, careful with this game, guys. Cueto pitches great at Great American Ballpark. No Moustakas, who smashes Cueto. Suarez and Cassidy don't touch him. I lean San Francisco first 5 money line plus 135, and I am on the under 4.5 first 5. Ooh-wee. Mr. Ghoster on no-run first inning, San Francisco, Cincinnati. Jacksonville Zoe says, I'm not sure if we see Dutch today. He might have had too much fun on Razor's show last night. I tell you what, Dutchie's an experienced drinker and smoker and individual, and he's up and at him. He's been tweeting out. He tweeted out his best bet, his freshest look. He's good to go, man. He'll be jumping in the chat, I'm sure, very soon. And there's Don't Ask, Don't Tell. Taint baby, taint baby. There we go. Little Vanilla Ice. I like it when I think of Vanilla Ice now. I just think of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Okay. David Sharp says, I'm tailing you, Matt Randall, for the under 4.5. I like it. Okay, let's go over. Bled W says, Jimmy, what kind of beer to drink? You know, I'm pretty simple, man. I'm a pretty simple lager drinker. I don't have sophisticated beer tastes. All right, let's go to our baseball data and see what we are dealing with. Against Cueto, 220, 633 OPS, and Mikey the Moustakas not in the lineup. Let's take a look. And so he's 5 for 10 against them. Imagine this lineup with him not in it. They don't hit him. They simply don't hit him, and he's back in Great American Ballpark. Let's go check out this exact lineup here. Market moving towards the Reds and Molly. Very interesting. And that first 5, let's take a look at that first 5 under 4.5 and see what movement we've had there. Quickly move over here. Full game. Let's go to first 5. And total. And this opened at 5. This was available at 5 at 9:46 in the morning. Huh. 5 would have been a nice thing to have. Would have been a very nice thing to have. I wish. Moustakas not being in the lineup is a very important piece to this puzzle. And I've got 5 miles per hour sideways. I've got it, and so does Roto Wire. Okay, let's talk about this lineup. Yastrzemski, Ruff, Crawford, Longoria, Dickerson, Dubon, Duggar, Casali. And then with the Reds, Winker, Castellanos, Stevenson, Naquin, Suarez, Farmer, India, Blandino. Wow, weak lineup. Against Molly, they're hitting 323 to 1.028 OPS. But it's Brandon Belt that does all the heavy hitting, and he's not in the lineup. Wow. I would get a moose head for me, Max on record. Wow. I'm not going to reach and make a bet in show. But also the fact that it was at 5 and it's down to 4.5 is, I wish I could have got that 5. But I completely agree with Matty Ice's thinking here. Robert Allen says Reds are getting back 2 starters in the infield that have been out last couple of games, and I think one of them pinched hit yesterday late, both starting. There's Wise. Ergo Caustic. Ergo Caustic says YouTube game, so under. Mally Mal says Reds are just terrible. I think that the first 5 under makes a lot of sense, Matty Ice, and no move for me. Mills says Wesley Snipes, Robert De Niro, the movie The Fan. Yes, of course. I've seen it, and it says the San Francisco Hat reminds him of it. And there is Gas Station Sushi, who was being called Sush the Truth. Sush the Truth from our Dutch boy Fresh. Okay, so let's move. There's Von Polo in the house. Says, I'm about to take the Capitals to win the series. I just gotta understand exactly what Ovechkin was doing. But we'll have Mr. Gogster on here, and we're going to be talking all about NHL. Great to see you, Von Polo. Okay, so this is the only bet I have made. 12:35 p.m. Eastern. Next up, Tampa Bay Rays at Baltimore Orioles. You know my love of Rich Hill well, and he's been very good lately. And now he's going up against a lineup in the Baltimore Orioles that hit 269, 754 OPS, first lefties, and it gave me pause. But I believe that Rich Hill can silence the Orioles' bats more than Dean Kramer is capable of silencing the Rays' bats against righties. Rays are hitting 237, 732 OPS versus righties. That is how I see this spot. I'm on the Tampa Bay Rays first 5 -0.5 and -120. Rays are 25-19, 14-7 on the road at the Baltimore Orioles, 17-25, 6-17 at home. Camden yards, Baltimore, Maryland, 82 Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy, 4 miles per hour in. For the Rays, we're going to go over their lineup, then look at market moves. We've got Arozarena leading off. Meadows, G-Man Choi, Brandon Lau, Yandy Diaz, Joey Wendell, Kiermaier, Mejia behind the plate, and Phillips in right field. For the Orioles, Mullins, Hayes, Mancini, Severino, Franco, Galvis, Mountcastle, Valaika, and McKenna. I think I have a better lineup. The Czar says I don't trust Hill. Look, I get it, Czar. But we're now 3 straight starts without allowing a run. No, the Czar, I'm a right. David Sharp says Jimmy got too much love for the old Gatorade thrower. 3 straight starts without allowing a run. And Ergo Caustic says, man, I'm missing that finished junior hockey league bets. Where's R2D2? R2D2, the season's over, man. R2D2 is in a spa somewhere in Finland drunk. So I just read out that Rays lineup, Mally Mal, and it's strong. Let's take a look at the market moves. And the reason why I didn't double up is because the Orioles are capable of getting the lefties. I get it. So I didn't double up. I thought about it, didn't double up. Rays opened up at -154. They're now at -149, a 5-cent move towards the Orioles. This total opened up overnight at -116. It's now juiced to the under. So about an 8 or 9 cent move towards the under. Christopher Gargaro says Kramer's been really good lately. 3.38 ERA last 3. First 5 under 5 seems like it makes sense. I agree, but I think Kramer can get hit. The people deserve to see it, man. It says, okay, Rich Hill, 4.26 ERA, 1.08 whip, 38 innings, 41 Ks, 13 walks, 5 home runs. In his last start against the Yankees, he was very good. 6 2/3, 3 hits, no earned runs, 3 walks, 9 Ks, 9-1 win at home. Kramer's last start was at home also versus the Yankees. He went 5 innings, allowed 5 hits, 2 earned runs. There were solo shots, 0 walks, 4 Ks. Thank you, Jeff. So, Robert Allen says this game is underwritten all over it after all the runs yesterday. I think today both teams focused on silencing each other's bats much more. CT Bay says Mancini is red hot. And as I said, Orioles 269, 754 OPS versus lefties, but Rays are hitting righties hard. Not hard. 237, 732 OPS. You could say, look, those stats, that's not hard. But with the way the MLB is hitting righties, that's, I believe, 7th in the league against righties. Rays bullpen 3.67 ERA, 1.23 whip. Converted 13 of 19 save opportunities. Orioles bullpen 3.87 ERA, 1.22 whip. They've converted 9 of 19 save opportunities. Ilya Katz is on the Rays team total over 4.5 at BetMGM. And Walla Walla Dose shouting out Taint. We haven't seen Taint yet. Waiting patiently. Taint will be coming. Matty Ice also saying everyone sees how Reds smash righties and the overhits at home, but I don't think either apply today. Either apply. And we got Fat Wally dropping some Ice Ice Baby lyrics. And Taint Play of the Day is in. I repeat, Taint Play of the Day is in. And we do also have new Taint video. Not quite ready yet, but there will be more Taint. The Taint Play of the Day is in. There's Alex Ramirez, star of the Spidey Play of the Day. Great to see you, Alex. Atlanta, first 5 minus a half. Let me copy and paste that. And let's get that ready to go. Right here. And copied and pasted. Christopher Gorgaro says new Taint video better include Mia. Look, there's always room for new shocked faces of beautiful women. Taint Play of the Day is in. The 2 afternoon games are locked and loaded. I'm not moving on the Giants Reds, but that first 5 under I agree with. And had I have come up with it before the show, I'd probably be on it. And Tampa Bay Rays first 5 minus a half is something I'm on. What up, Ricky Chalmers in the house? And Matty Ice says, fading Pitt versus lefties and Smiles been very good last 2 starts. Crow eats crow today. Jacksonville So says, why am I afraid of what will be on the new Taint video? I don't know, Jacksonville So. That's a question you have to ask yourself. We move on. 2:05 p.m. Eastern. New York Yankees at Texas Rangers. Yankees 24-19, 13-10 on the road at Texas Rangers 19-26, 10-12 at home. We're at Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas. I expect the roof to be closed, and I have difficulty getting that information. Let me try a Twitter handle that I believe may give it to us. And let's see. No. It was closed yesterday. So no information right now. Let's talk about this spot. We will start with, we did not talk about Rich Hill against these guys, 224, 864 OPS, and Dean Kramer, 182, but 812 OPS at 2 for 11. Very small sample size. Domingo Germán and the Yankees versus the Rangers. Against Germán, they're 3 for 14, small sample size, 214, 741 OPS. And Dunning has not been seen. Joseph Gomez, don't worry, guys. Don't worry. David Summer saying it's been raining here, so I assume they'd keep it closed. Mills, star of our MMA work here at Pub Sports Radio, says Germán is 6-0 last 6 starts and averaging 6 Ks. He is on the Yankees. Robbie Allen says Dane Dunning to get hit in his glasses today. Bama Boy saying Germán being good last 5 starts. And CT Bay saying Rangers, Indians, Mariners all being no-hit twice. Just crazy. And David Sharp, Yankees first 5 minus 125, full game plus 115. A lot of the Discord was on it with Big Ant, Big Mastro. All of the fate of Dunning versus teams who hit righties have given up 3 or more versus top 10 OPS. Very interesting. Let's take a closer look at this spot. Full game, Yankees and Germán opened up at minus 131. They're now minus 120. So in an 11-cent move towards Texas Rangers at Pinnacle, this total opened up at 8.5. It's now at 8 and juiced to the under at 8. Patrick Peebles posted it earlier, the parlay, Red Sox money line, Yankees money line. Very interesting. Germán, 3-2, 3.62 ERA, 1.15 whip, 37 in the third, 37 Ks, 8 walks, 7 home runs allowed. In his last start, he went 6 innings, allowed 4 hits, 1 earned run, 0 home runs, 2 walks, 6 Ks, and 8-2 win at the Orioles. Dunning, 2-3, 4.34 ERA, 1.42 whip, 37 in the third, 42 Ks, 13 walks, 2 home runs allowed. In his last start, he went 4 innings, allowed 7 hits, 4 earned runs, 1 home run, 3 walks, 3 Ks, 6-5 loss at the Astros. The Yankees hitting just 220, 692 OPS versus righties. Rangers versus righties, 233, 697 OPS. Yankees bullpen, 2.85 ERA, 1.03 whip, converted 13 of 14 save opportunities. They've been excellent. The Rangers bullpen is getting better and better as the season goes on. 4.01 ERA, 1.30 whip, converted 12 of 16 save opportunities. Razor Sharp Pick says Yankees opened up at minus 140, now down to minus 120, and everyone is betting the Yankees. Anyone smell that? Smells fishy. The Czar says that he smells it. Ergo Caustic, Yankees team total over 4.5 at plus 117. Robert Allen says Rangers' true colors have officially come out last couple series. The team is awful. Either Yankees or pass. Viper says Stoll's gone over in 5 of the New York Yankees' last 7 games on the road. Mally Mouse saying Dane Dunning can surprise. And DC is on the 8 in the 3rd at Belmont. CT Bay says Yankees often rest bats in day games, keeping the line down, I'd imagine. Well, the market move is concerning. Expecting a nice start from Dunning. And I do not know what to make of it at this point. I do not know what to make of it. Herman's been very good. So we've seen a big market move on the full game. Do we also have a similar market move on the first 5? Let's check this out right now. First 5. And we'll go to Bookmaker. See what they've done. First 5, yeah. Big moves against the Yankees, which is a rare occurrence. Books asking for Yankees money. CT Bay says Yankees lineup not posted, but expected to be light. Christopher Gargaro says Yankees are 28th in MLB in day game batting average, 202 only. Okay, that will be no move for me. And that is great info from Gargaro and from everyone. Sammy going on a Sabonis triple-double tonight. So, and CT Base's line tells me they know a big Yanks bat will be sitting. There's Brian Watson. Thank you for joining us. Okay, so, David Trapp says Yankees bullpen fresh and ready. North Ender says Rangers are 5-2 their last 7 home games. There's a team with a winning record. Okay, a pass for me. We move on. 2:20 p.m. Eastern. Washington Nationals 17-22, 8-12 on the road at the Chicago Cubs. 21-21, 15-9 at home. Wrigley Field, Chicago, Illinois. 76 Fahrenheit. Overcast. 12 miles per hour. Out to left field. Let's take a look at the market moves here. Full games and totals. Let's go. Nats, Cubbies. At Wrigley, we have Trevor Williams and the Cubbies opening up at minus 123. They're now minus 121. So 2-cent move towards the Nats. This total opened up at 10.5 at a pick'em. It is now juiced to the under 10.5 in Ross and Williams. Oh, Nilo, great to see you. Says big day today. It's my daughter's birthday. Please wish her happy birthday from us, Nilo. You are a great dad, a great family man, and a great capper, and a beloved low bagger. So enjoy the night. Please send along our best to your daughter. Black belt, by the way, Nilo's daughter. Black belt. Black belt. That's impressive. Okay. So let's take a look at the baseball data before we break down Williams and Ross. Ross, they're hitting .294 with an 812 OPS against Ross. Baez, 3 for 6 with 2 doubles. But in 51 at-bats, Rizzo, 5 for 12 with 2 doubles. 51 at-bats, 0 home runs, and 5 doubles. You'd think with a .294 batting average, you'd have a higher than 812 OPS. Against Trevor Williams, .250 with a .998 OPS, 7 home runs and 60 at-bats. Castro, 2 for 3 with a double and a homer. Trey Turner, 2 for 7 with 2 homers. Zimmerman, 1 for 5 with a homer. Schwarber, 8 for 26 with 3 homers. Yeah, North Ender, it was tight. It was tight. And Robert Allen, yes, your daughter shares birthday with our guy, Robert Allen. Sharpie says, I wanted a team total for the Nats, but it's being juiced to minus 130. Nats smash Williams. I'm on Nats first 5 plus 100. The question is, do we trust Joe Ross to have a bounce-back performance here? 2-3, 5.80 ERA, 1.46 whip, 35 and 2/3, 33 K, 17 walks, 8 home runs. In his last start, he went 4 innings, allowed 8 hits, 8 earned runs, 1 home run, 3 walks, 5 Ks, 11-4 loss to Arizona. It was bad. Trevor Williams, 2-2, 6.27 ERA, 1.82 whip, 33 innings, 37 Ks, 18 walks, 6 homers. In his last start, he made it through just 2 innings at Detroit. Allowed 4 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 walks. And they'd seen enough and pulled them. Nats versus righties, 246, 697 OPS. Cubs versus righties, 231, 710 OPS. Both bullpens are very good. Cubs bullpen, 3.24 ERA, 1.30 whip, converted 10 to 15 save opportunities. Nats bullpen, 3.78 ERA, 1.23 whip, converted 5 of 8 save opportunities. David Sharp says, yes, I do expect to bounce back. I looked at his past games after a blow up. He's been money. Bleds W says, Ross is trash, can't be trusted. I like runs scored in the first inning. North Ender, it's talking about yesterday's game. Very tough. Give me my props play of the day. Brogdon over 29 points. He had 26 last time they played. God, we got some hamstring issues with some of these very important pieces tonight, and I'm just nervous in the props market. But if Teron Hopkins is on him, it's likely a casher. I'm going to pop that here just above the big game. And Trey Turner hasn't attempted a stolen base in 13 straight. The wind is blowing out hard. There's no doubt about it. I just don't know what we're going to get from Ross. And if he has a bounce back spot. Okay, let's take a look at this first 5 total with the wind blowing out. We have a first 5 total at 6. I'm not going to go for 7 runs. Yes, Jason. Thank you, Rocky Meniketti, my man. Yes, Jason Turgi. Taint has been announced. It's Braves. It is the Braves, 7:20 p.m. start. Atlanta first 5 minus a half. All right. There's Griffin. Says, I like the over in this spot. Hit Nats first 5 yesterday. Nice job. So did I. It's going to be no move for me here. Although I like the first 5 over. Ergo Cossack says exclude Ross from the equation. Nats team total over. There's our guy Boston, Nick in the house. Nicky Fish Tanks. All right. CD Bay says can't trust Ross. This feels like an over. That's going to hit. Waiting on Cubs lineup. It does feel like an over. It's just these bullpens are really good and can get either starter out of trouble. And now we're going to need 7 runs in the first 5. And David Trapp says, if you like the first 5 over 6, team total for the Nats is 4.5. I'd like to see exactly what it is here for me. Good call. Let's just take a look at this Nats team total. Team total. The problem, again, is just this Cubs bullpen's being lights out. Cubs. Nats team total 4.5 minus 135. Certainly. I'm going to put a question mark beside the Nats team total. It certainly makes sense at 4.5, but a lot of juice at minus 135. Life of Von Polo says Suns in 7. Ooh, that's a big call, Von Polo. Oh, that's going to be a fun series. All right, let's move on. And Boston Nick says, Shuey's tonight on Razor's show. Boston Nick, a highlight of every show he is a part of. The man brings the energy up. I love him. All right, we move on to 3:37 p.m. Eastern. Houston Astros at Oakland Athletics. Astros 25-18, 10-9 on the road at the A's, 26-18, 14-12 at home. Oakland Coliseum in Oakland, California, 61 Fahrenheit, 13 miles per hour, out to right field. Luis Garcia and Cole Irvin, I came very close to betting the Astros. And it is Cole Irvin that kind of slowed me down. Luis Garcia, 1-3, 3.34 ERA, 1.11 whip, 35 innings, 40 Ks, 13 walks, and 6 home runs. In his last start, he went 5 innings, allowed 5 hits, 1 earned run, 0 homers, 2 walks, 5 Ks, 6-5 win at home versus Texas. Cole Irvin, 3-4, 3.02 ERA, 1.07 whip, 47 2/3, 39 Ks, 8 walks, 5 home runs. In his last start, he went 6 2/3, allowed 5 hits, 1 earned run, 0 home runs, 2 Ks, 2 walks, and a 5-4 loss to the Twins. The Astros smash lefties. We know that. So do we blindly bet the Astros when they're going up against lefties? They're hitting 284 with a 790 OPS. Or do we think that Cole Irvin is good enough to slow them down? A's versus righties just 213, 674 OPS. Astros bullpen 4.09 ERA, 1.26 whip, converted 9 of 16 save opportunities. A's bullpen 4.06 ERA, 1.30 whip, converted 12 of 15 save opportunities. DC. Okay, let's first look at the market move in this game. For the first 5, the under, I mean, a 2-cent move towards the under, 4.5. Open at -110, now -112. And you're getting the Astros at a pretty nice price, between -120 and -125. That makes sense to me. Now let's look at the full game here. Houston opening up at -110. They're now -108. So there's been like a 4-cent move to the under and a 2-cent move to the A's. Amali Mouse has hit Astros Jets parlay last night. Altuve, the hottest bat right now. And Dave Sharp, let's find out if that dome is open right now. I mean, David Summers says there's been rain in the area. Roof. Here we go. We have... Man, this has not been updated. Oh, it's because we're not in Houston. What am I doing? Sorry, of course. Oh, we're in Oakland. Okay, sorry. CD Base says Irvin and Garcia have been good in early starts, perhaps a first 5 under. All right, let's go to batter versus pitcher here. Baseball data against Garcia. They're hitting 111 with a 311 OPS. They're 1 for 9 with a single. Against Cole Irvin, they're hitting 293 with an 868 OPS. I mean, the Astros are just that good against lefties. That's all. They're just that good against lefties. So they should probably be bet. Probably just bet the first 5. I probably should have already made this bet. I shouldn't let Cole Irvin scare me. Robert Allen says I got A's money line under 8.5 in Oakland Houston game. Couple of my favorite looks on the card today. Irvin's going to want to pitch good versus Houston. He snitched on them. It wasn't Irvin that snitched. All right. I just think that we have to attack the first 5 when the Astros are going up against the lefty. We just have to. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to take the Astros first 5 here. And a decision will have to be made whether I take that -0.5 or not. Right now, that first 5 is -130. I'll have to take it -0.5. So let's just see what that is here. First 5 -0.5 is at +100. Okay. I'm going to move on that. First 5 -0.5 at +100. Kev Riley in the house. Another 6-1 in one day. Absolutely gorgeous. Nice job, Kev. And, of course, Kev moved on that Lakers first quarter under. Matty Ice asked me right at the end of the NBA segment. He said, if there was a total that you would bet, which one would it be? And I looked, and I was like, well, first quarter under 56. And they don't bet it. I just can't get right in NBA, but all right. David Sharp says, I'm telling you, but at -125, I can't bet that. Maybe you should wait. It's coming down. Interesting. Coming down. That's a very important point. Let's just see what bookmaker is doing with it here in this Astro spot. Let's jump right now and see what they're doing with it. First 5. No, there's been a 7-cent move at bookmaker, but I'll keep an eye on it. Okay, we move on. We move on 4:07 p.m. Eastern. We talk about the double dip. 4:07 p.m. Eastern, Game 1. Minnesota Twins, 14-27, 6-12 on the road. At LA Angels, 18-24, 9-11 at home. Jerry Beatty says, what was the consensus on the Reds game? The consensus was first 5 under 4.5. That was the consensus. Now, I'm not moving on it, but that would have been the consensus. And a possible move on the Giants. But the consensus was that first 500. And look at Gerardo Hernandez getting that first 5 minus a half at plus 115. Wow. That's a nice number, Gerardo. Okay, we go to Angel Stadium for the Twins. Angels double dip, 70 Fahrenheit clear, 10 miles per hour out to left center. Lewis Thorpe, 0-1, 4.50 ERA, 1.00 whip, 10 innings, 5 Ks, 2 walks, 0 home runs allowed. In his last start, 5 innings, 5 hits, 0 home runs, 1 walk, 2 Ks, and 3-1 loss at home versus the Rangers. Going up against Alex Cobb, whom can't be trusted. 1-2, 5.48 ERA, 1.69 whip, 21 1/3, 31 Ks, 10 walks, 1 home run. His last start, 5 innings, 2 hits, 0 home runs, 5 walks, 8 Ks, and 8-3 loss at home versus the Rays. Twins versus righties, 235, 717 OPS. Angels versus lefties, 232, 706 OPS. That number will drop without Trout in the lineup. Twins bullpen, 5.02 ERA, 1.43 whip. They've converted 6 of 13 save opportunities. Angels bullpen, 5 ERA, 1.45 whip, converted 10 of 18. They're both terrible. Both terrible bullpens. Let's look at the market moves and then go to baseball data. First, the market moves here. Cobb opening up as a dog and becoming a favorite. Money coming in on Cobb and the Angels in the 7-inning spot. Jerry Beatty, I'm on the Rays first 5 minus a half. That was the only bet I'd made before the show started. All right, let's go to baseball data here and see if that helps. Against Thorpe, 8 at-bats. They're 3 for 8. And then against Cobb, 78 at-bats. They're hitting 308 with a 976 OPS. The Czar says Twins is a line read here. I guess it is. I guess you need to trust Thorpe here. I don't trust Thorpe. I don't trust the bullpens. David Sharp says over. First 5 over 4.5. They beat the dog shit out of Cobb historically. Nelson Cruz, 10 for 25 with 2 doubles and 3 homers. They've hit 5 home runs in 78 at-bats. The Czar says, why would Twins open favored? The Czar says, Vegas says Twins. I do not trust either of these teams that can turn it on at times. I can't trust the bullpens. I can't trust the starting pitchers. Vipers with David Sharp on the over. I get that, but I would prefer a 9-inning game if I was going to take the over. I want these bullpens to be attacked. I just can't put my money on something with faith here. Let's talk about game 2. Twins, Angels, almost identical weather, except it's a little more wind out, 2 miles more, 12 miles. And we have Berrios versus Griffin Canning. That hasn't changed. Has that changed? No, it hasn't. Berrios opening up at minus 134. Look at that. A 16-cent move to Griffin Canning and the Angels before game 1's being played. Ooh. Berrios has not been looking very strong of late. His last start, 7 innings, 8 hits, 4 earned runs, 2 home runs allowed, 0 walks, 6 Ks, and a 5-4 win at home versus Oakland. He's 3-2, 3.74 ERA, 1.14 whip, 49 Ks and 45 2/3, 14 walks, 5 home runs, and a huge move towards Griffin Canning, who just had a nice start at the Red Sox at Fenway. Went 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 home run, 2 walks, 7 Ks in a 4-3 loss to the Red Sox. He's 3-2, 4.78 ERA, 1.38 whip. Again, we talked about how terrible the bullpens are. Will they be more vulnerable in a game 2? And Angels hit righties 254, 728 OPS, but do they as bad without Trout in the lineup? And will Ohtani even be in the lineup? The CT base is an awful travel spot for the Twins, Minnesota to California, and then Cleveland tomorrow. Let's see if there's any extra information here. Against Berrios, they're hitting 231 with 772 OPS, and the Twins haven't seen Canning. Mally Mouse said he pitched good against the Red Sox. I think he can beat the lowly Twins. This is a tricky doubleheader. I think CT Base probably said the most important spot on this, and that's the fact that this is a tired Twins team. Arthur Meade Jr. wants the under in game 2. All right, there's going to be no move from me in this Twinkies Angels double dip. Let's move on to 7:05 p.m. Eastern. The Miami Marlins, 19-23, 11-14 on the road at the Philadelphia Phillies, 22-21, 14-7 at home. We're at Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. 74 Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy, 9 miles per hour out to left center. We have Alcantara and Velasquez, who's just messes with me year in and year out. I just can't figure Velasquez out. I just can't get him right. This total was juiced to the under 8. It's now juiced to the over 8, slightly, but a legitimate move towards the over. Velasquez opening up at minus 120. He's now minus 112, an 8-cent move towards the Marlins. CT Bay said travel's awful. Twins might be out of gas by game 2. I like that. I think you're right, CT Bays. I think that's the only way to sort of look at that double dip is that the Twins, and then they're gonna have to fly again. But then what if Barrios steps up for the team? It's tricky. I'll put a question mark there. Mr. Gokster said this is a guy who got smashed when we were in Miami. He certainly did, Gokster. DC saying 78% of money on the Phils. David Trump says, I like this bet. Over 4, first 5. Phillies smash Alcantara and it's Velasquez. Let's go. Seems like an easy first 5 over. All right. Well, let's take a look at the baseball data. We have against Velasquez, they're hitting 341 with a 1.054 OPS, but he's looked very good this year. Against Alcantara, they're hitting 313 with an 834 OPS. And we have 9 miles per hour to left center. Yeah, that all makes sense. That all makes sense. Yeah. Mally says, okay, first 5 over. Alcantara, 1-3, 4.06 ERA, 1.16 whip, 51 innings, 51 K, 16 walks, 6 home runs. In his last start, he went 1 1/3, 7 hits, 8 runs, 1 home run, 2 walks, 3 Ks, and 9-6 win at the Dodgers. Vince Velasquez, 1-0, 3.68 ERA, 1.40 whip, 29 1/3, 37 Ks, 19 walks, 7 home runs. In his last start, he went 5 2/3, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 3 walks, 7 Ks, and a 5-1 win at Toronto. Marlins are hitting just 228, 644 OPS versus righties. Phillies are hitting 236, 689 OPS versus righties. Marlins bullpen 3.64 ERA, 1.14 whip. They're good, but they can't seem to close games down. 8 of 19 converted save opportunities. Phillies bullpen 4.30 ERA, 1.36 whip, converted 11 of 20 save opportunities. And Gavin Henry saying, loving the late double at Thistle Downs today. 1-2. So I think the 2 in the last at 6-1 is money line super value. If he gets half that. Best bet of the day is Pimlico Race 6. That 7 is going to make us some cash. That is from Gavin Henry. Thank you for sharing that with us, Gav. I will copy and paste that right now. Get that there. Thank you, my friend. Our guy, Gavin Henry, a trainer down in Jamaica, and we will be going to his horse track. We will have a low bag Summit of Champions in Jamaica. Mark my words. So we can hang with Gavin down in Jamaica. David Trump says Marlins cashed my minus 1.5 at plus 185 yesterday. I was telling everyone wrong team was favored. Does feel like this first 5 is in play. Okay, first 5 over 4. I will run with you guys on that. What a tongue on this young man. No one's ever said that to me before. What a tongue on this young man. Okay, we move on to 7:20 p.m. Eastern, which takes us to, at 7:20 p.m. Eastern. Oh. The taint play of the day. The taint play of the day. There it is. There it is. Atlanta first 5 minus a half from our Matt Randall. The taint play today, an unlucky loser yesterday, has been extremely strong. Extremely strong. Let's break down what Matt is seeing on this Atlanta first 5 -1/2. Pirates 17-25, 9-14 on the road at the Braves, 20-23, 10-13 home. We're Truist Park in Atlanta, Georgia. 79 Fahrenheit clear, 10 miles per hour in Wilt Crow. 0-2, 4.35 ERA, 1.35 whip, 20 2/3, 17 Ks, 10 walks, 2 home runs. In his last start, 5 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 home run, 1 walk, 5 Ks, and a 3-1 loss at home versus the Giants. And Nilo, thank you for that. Dono, much love to you. And his daughter is actually a 2nd-degree black belt. And please wish her a wonderful, happy birthday on our behalf. Kevin Riley asking if our son has shown up. And yes, our son, my son, Jose, he's ready. He's ready to pounce. When his game is up, he's going to be ready to attack. Don't worry. Okay. So let's talk about Drew Smyly. 2-2, 5.23 ERA, 1.35 whip, 31 innings, 26 Ks, 12 walks, 9 home runs. In his last start, he looked very good at Milwaukee. Milwaukee's not hitting anybody. But still, 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 0 home runs, 1 walk, 4 Ks. And he's a guy I cheer for. Pirates versus lefties, 210, 631 OPS. Braves versus righties, 228, 737 OPS. Pirates bullpen 3.87 ERA, 1.22 whip, converted 6 of 7 save opportunities. Braves bullpen 4.84 ERA, 1.49 whip, converted 8 of 15 save opportunities. So let's start with baseball data. And there's Dutch Boy Fresh in the house. Our guy Dutchy. He was so much fun on Razor Sharp's horse racing show last night. And he gave out the Lakers live at plus 200 money line at the perfect time. Okay, so let's take a look. Wilt Crow, they have 9 at-bats against them. They're 4 for 9. And 16 at-bats against Smyly. They're 5 for 16. Rocky Manichetti says, how about a low bagger reunion in Vegas someday? You know it, Rocky. And it was a great – Rocky hung with us in our last big get-together in Vegas. Not the one that just happened that I wasn't able to go to. But the last time I was in Vegas, I was hanging with my guy Rocky. All right. What is this first 5 -1/2? What will it cost us with Smyly? Let's go there. First 5 on the point spread is -130. I get it. All right, I'm going to tail the taint play of the day. I'm in. Count me in. Count me in. We move to 7:37 p.m. Eastern. 7:37 p.m. Eastern. Boston Red Sox at the Toronto Blue Jays. And it is time for my son to grace us. It is time for Jose's Say Hey play of the day. Please welcome to the show my Venezuelan son, Jose. Jose, how are you, my friend? Coming off a tough one. How are you feeling?
Demoralized, but I'm loving this. Like I said, I love the pressure. I think it was some Miami players that said you thrive under pressure. Santana Moss said big-time players make big-time plays in big-time games. And I'm just trying to be a big-time player, Jimmy. I'm the head of Pub Sports Radio's junior capping division, so I have to put on for my city.
You do. Put on for your city. Put on. So, I don't want to sit here and, I want you to believe in yourself. And I hear the hope in your voice. So I would like to start this segment, before we break down your look, to say just some positive things about you. Positive things about you. So let's go. Okay, we're gonna be positive because you started out 0-2, an ugly beginning. But let's just pause. So we're gonna start. Okay, here. You're a nice boy.
Okay. Should I give you one back too? Should we trade?
No. This is just for you. This is just for you. Okay. Okay. Let's try another one. Okay. You're just 23. You have lots of time to trim down those tits.
Okay. Hold on. Let me just get a good look at them.
Okay.
Should I take off my shirt too?
No. Let's keep you clothed. Okay. All right. Let's try. Okay. One more positive one, then we'll get into your action. Okay. Jose, your mouth isn't destined for cum.
Okay. It's not destined, but sometimes it is made for it. So let's do it.
All right. Okay. There he is. A little positive affirmations for our friend Jose. Get him confident. Get him believing in himself. And let's get to work. Jose.
Okay, so let me do my best Jimmy impersonation.
Sure.
We start off in Dunedin, Florida, with the Boston Red Sox at 26-18, 13-6 on the road at the Toronto Blue Jays, 23-18, 10-6 at home. Jimmy, it is windy. It is especially windy in Dunedin, Florida. I've got 18 to 22 mile per hour winds. We love that. Also, Jimmy, as you know, I'm a big air quality guy, and it is still fair. It is still fair. So we are still going. We're still okay. Nick Pivetta versus Steven Matz.
Yes.
Very interesting matchups. Steven Matz, 5-2 on the year, 4 ERA, has been struggling as of late a little bit. 5 earnings in his 3 starts ago, 3 earnings last 2 starts ago. Sorry, and then last outing he had no earnings. Had a good outing again. But we all know who Steven Matz is. We've seen him. We saw him on the Mets. He was the 5th wheel in that lovely, lovely rotation they had back in the day. But I'm not sold on him yet. He had his run. He did his thing. And now I'm expecting a little bit of a regression. That leads us to my Boston Red Sox. I am an asshole Red Sox fan. I watch this team every day. They got shit pumped in the first game of the series. Shout out to Molly the dog walking around right now. They got shit pumped the first game of the series. They came back, did the shit pumping game 2. And I think Alex Cora has this effect. And I love my manager, Alex Cora. Alex comes in. He gets the boys riled up after a shitty outing. And he knows how important this series is. He knows it. He knows he needs this win. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Red Sox money line plus 120. I'm taking the risk. I'm rolling the dice. It's called gambling, Jimmy. Guess what? That's what we're doing here. I'm rolling the dice. I'm taking the Red Sox money line. I believe in your Canadian brother, Nick Pivetta. He's probably your cousin back in the day. He's somewhere in those lines of heritage. But I'm taking the Red Sox today. I believe in them. And I also like Jumbo Dong JD Martinez over 1.5 bases today. But I do, in fact, love my Red Sox today.
Boston Red Sox money line. Let's give you the best available money line. There's a plus 126 at Bet Online.
Bovada has plus 117 as well. My local has it as plus 120. So I love this. Jacksonville, this is not a heart bet. This is going back to my well, Jacksonville. You ever wake up, Jacksonville, some nice warm socks on a cold day, you slip them on. You know how nice that feels? This is what I'm doing. I'm going back to the well, the team that I know the most. I'm going to put my Red Sox on, and I'm going to hope for the best. And if they disappoint me again, then it's just a double emotional licking too. So I'm going for the path of 500 here, Jimmy. 2-1. We'll go there. We'll go there for the rest of the week. That's the goal. 2-1 for the rest of the week.
There is Jose going under his bed, pulling out his crusty semen-filled Red Sox and putting them on, cheering for his Boston club at plus 126. He's 0 for 2 so far, an ROI of minus 105%, down 2.10 units. And we can change that. We can change that right away. We believe in you, Jose. Jeff Slaughter says, will Jose be promoted to the senior capping division with the big dogs? We will see. We will see. We will see. Jose, God bless you. We believe in you. And just don't fucking let me down again, please.
Hey, as long as the Bruins are winning, Jimmy, it's all right. At the end of the day, with my man that I've watched since birth, obviously, Taylor Hall, the greatest Bruins acquisition ever, going to come in here and dominate the Capitals. Jimmy, I'd like to make a wager with you before I leave.
All right.
A little bet, a little bet. I know you like this. You have the Colorado Avalanche, I believe, winning the Stanley Cup this year, correct?
I do, yeah.
I would like to make a wager when you come down to San Antonio.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to bet a fine meal of some sort at one of these establishments here. Maybe some tacos. Maybe we'll get you settled in right. Get you a part of the culture, Jimmy. I'll bet you a meal that my Boston Bruins advance farther in the playoffs than the Colorado Avalanche.
I love that. You are on, my friend. And for those of you who don't know, as soon as the border opens up, I'm driving right to the Southtown 101. I'm driving straight from Toronto to San Antonio. Going to stop along the way, hang out with low baggers, go to racetracks. But I'm in. I am in. Wonderful stuff from our man Jose. I'll be cheering for you. I won't be tailing you under any circumstances, but I will be cheering for you, my friend. Thank you so much for joining us. There he is, Jose. Say hey, play of the day, my Venezuelan son, who has just been disappointing me for as long as I've known him. As long as I've known him. So we'll see if he can get on the right side of action. And we have one more game left. That is the Arizona Diamondbacks at 10:10 p.m. Eastern at Los Angeles Dodgers. The Diamondbacks 18-26, 9-17 on the road at the Dodgers 25-18, 15-6 at home. Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles, California. 68 Fahrenheit clear, 7 miles per hour out to right center. We have Merrill Kelly, Trevor Bauer. Has that been confirmed? Has that been confirmed? Bauer has not been confirmed. I wonder why. Bauer has not been confirmed, but we do know that Merrill Kelly will be out there. 2-4, 5.24 ERA, 1.46 WHIP, 44 2/3, 34 Ks, 16 walks, 6 home runs. Last start, he went 6 1/3, 7 hits, 3 earned runs, 0 home runs allowed, 2 walks, 4 Ks in a 5-1 loss at home versus Miami. Dodgers hit 258, 792 OPS versus righties. And these Diamondbacks bullpen is atrocious at 5.61 ERA, 1.59 WHIP. But clearly it's not. The market is now being opened up, but clearly it's not Bauer because it looks like the Dodgers are going to be minus 180 favorites, and that would not be the case if Bauer was on the bump. So we have to find out who is pitching and then make decisions. All right, there's my guy, Robert Cherry, in the house. Great to see you, Robert Cherry. Jerry Beatty says, can't trust Rich Hill. I am trusting Rich Hill. 3 straight starts without allowing a run. And I know the Orioles smash lefties, but that was the first bet that I'd already locked in. First 5 minus half at minus 120. Then we have the Nats team total over 4.5 in Nats Cubbies. Makes a ton of sense to me. My only issue is that minus 135 juice associated with it, as well as this issue that the Cubs bullpen's been so good. So I'm not sure if I'm going to make a move on it. And Mark Hunkefer saying, can't wait to talk about the Pacers. Thanks to your Raptors for O'Shea Brissett. Yeah, Brissett. God, we love him up here because of his work at Syracuse. It's upsetting. First 5 minus a half at plus 100 for the Astros will be a look that I'm on. I'm staying away from that double dip. That first 5 over 4, the chat talked me into it in Marlins Phillies. The taint play of the day, I will be tailing Atlanta first 5 minus a half. And then our man Jose is on the Boston Red Sox at plus 126. And the plus 126 money line for the Boston Red Sox would get him really into a much, much better spot than he's found himself in after 2 games so far. All right. That is MLB. And we move on to NBA. And David Travis saying Bauer pitching tomorrow. Still no pitcher for the Dodgers. There's Paulie D in the house. Says fade the Yankees. And we have Dutch Boy Fresh is freshest look already to rock. Dutch Boy Fresh, and that is Russell Westbrook. Over 27.5 rebounds and assists for our Dutch Boy Fresh, freshest look. Russell Westbrook. So it's a tricky game to me. I know that Westbrook is a warrior, but he certainly looked, I don't know, he looked beaten up in the first play-in game. And it's hard for me to trust him completely here. And then we have Teron Hopkins on the other point guard. Brogdon over 20.5 points. He had 26 last time they played Washington with LeVert and Turner. If they both don't play tonight, they'll need the scoring to beat Washington. We have Brogdon, who is coming off a right hamstring injury, and he's hard to trust. So it's extremely tricky. Let's break this game down. We have Teron Hopkins. Give me my props play of the day. Brogdon over 20.5 points. We have our Dutch boy, freshest look, Russell Westbrook over 27.5 rebounds and assists. Let's talk about the play-in East 8 seed game and break it down right now. We're going to move over to NBA market moves. See what we are dealing with. Jason Folk says, let's get you right in NBA. This is just a train wreck of a year for me. And the fourth year, I've publicly shown every bet. And the first 3 years were all double-digit winners. And then I fall apart here in year 4. This total opened up at 241. It's all the way down to 237. Books are hanging 237.5, but it's down to 237. Washington opening up as 3.5-point favorites. That's where they stand right now. Griffin loving the under. Oh, excuse me, the over. Griffin is on the over right there. And CT Bay saying Donaldson cruising game 1 of the double dip. One of them likely sits game 2. Okay, Pacers 34-38 in the regular season, 21-15 on the road at the Wizards, 34-38, 19-17 at home. Capital One Arena in Washington, D.C. Pacers 3-2, 10th in pace over their past 5, not including the playoff game, 101.20 possessions a game. Wizards are 3-2 in pace over their last 5 regular season games, first in pace at 105.70 possessions a game. The Wizards were rolling down the stretch. And watching them against the Celtics, you have to wonder, did it take a lot out of them? They went 17-6 down the stretch. They also badly beat the Pacers in the regular season. 139.7 points per game they put up. They went 3-0 versus the Pacers. And it just feels like because of that 17-6 run, because of being 3-0 versus the Pacers, that the pressure is squarely on the shoulders of the Washington Wizards. Coming off a 118-110 loss at Boston in the play-in opener Tuesday, Westbrook was 6 of 18 from the field, had just 5 assists. Beal wore 4 compression sleeves on his strained left hamstring. He said after the game, I can't be as explosive as I want to. I don't know. This team feels like a tired team right now. A beaten down team. Davis Bertans, the Latvian laser, is who I would like to focus on the prop market, but I don't trust myself. He went 0 for 7 against Boston. He's healthy, and he has to be scoring. He simply has to be scoring. But all of Washington couldn't score from beyond the arc. 3 of 21 against the Celtics. And then you have this Pacers team with no pressure on them whatsoever. They've had a bad season. They're dealing with injuries, and they play free and loose, put up 144 points against the Hornets on Tuesday. They're preparing to play without Karis LeVert with COVID-19 protocols, Miles Turner with the foot injury, of course, TJ Warren, and then Jeremy Lamb with the left knee injury. Davis. Excuse me, Eric, changed my fault for saying Davis. Davis Bertans. Okay, Davis. My fault. Malcolm Brogdon, 21.2 points per game, 5.9 assists during the year. But that right hamstring injury, he comes back, scores 16 points and 8 assists. North Ender says, who would the NBA prefer to make the playoffs? Yes, they would prefer the Wizards make the playoffs. There's no doubt about that. Sabonis, 14 points, 21 boards, 9 assists before the early seat in Tuesday's blowout. I can't take the Wizards here. But I understand people who are. I just think that rush down the stretch took a lot out of them. And now they have pressure on them. And they're hurting. And it feels like a Pacers or no bet. It also feels like Pacers early. They're a much fresher squad. First quarter on the Pacers, you can get up to plus 117 at Pinnacle, plus 110 at Bet365. Nikes Johnson, Tampa Bay Rays, Baltimore Orioles. I'm on the Rays first 5 minus a half run. So Dutch Boy Fresh on the Wizards first half, Arthur Mead on the Pacers first half. So I like the Pacers first quarter. Money line. And I like Davis Bertans. Let's see what I would get him at. I just expect him to be good. Let's see what the player prop market is offering us right now. Bertans over 11.5 points. It's juiced heavily at minus 130. Polo this, Polo that's got Wizards first quarter and Pacers money line at plus 480. And here we go. NBA top play for Razor Sharp after an easy casher is last night's Wizards Pacers under 237.5. Mally Mouse says Pacers are a more well-rounded team in his opinion. Wow. Okay. So first quarter money line for the Pacers and Bertans over 11.5 points. And what is Bertans threes looking at right now? Threes made 2.5. Juice to the over. Okay. And Eric Chang saying staying far, far, far away from this game. Smith Legacy says no defense, all-star, score 250 plus. Wow. All right. A very tricky spot here in the 8th seed game. I'm going to take the Pacers to be loosey-goose in the first quarter, cash the money line. Bertans over 11.5 points. And I'm on a terrible run right now in NBA. Terrible run. Eric Chang says, got this Tampa first 5 coming up, riding with Jimmy. Let's get it, Eric Chang. That is our NBA breakdown. Our NBA breakdown. We have a ton of NBA coming up this week, and I can't wait to cap it with you guys. But I will need to lean on you guys as this is just a terrible year for me. We have a special guest coming on to the show right now. A special guest to help us break down this NHL card. Let's send him the link right now. There it is. And it is time to talk NHL. In NHL, I took a ton of heat this year. I was down double-digit units 3 different times. Took a ton of heat on social media. Told everybody that I would end up double-digit units. And I'm not there yet. But I am 146 and 152, hitting at 49%. Average line plus 115. I'm up 4.19 units with ROI of plus 1.41%. Mike Jones says, what is the taint? What is the taint, says Mike Jones. The taint play of the day is the Atlanta Braves first 5 minus a half. All right, and while we are waiting for our guy Gokster to jump with us, let's begin breaking down these playoff games right now. We start with the 6:30 p.m. Central first round game 3. Tampa Bay up 2-0 in this series. And let's bring on our special guest to help us break down NHL. Belleville's finest. Crazy motherfucking name. Gokster in the house. Gokster, what up, man? How are you?
What's going on, guys? How are we doing today? Thanks for having me on, Jim.
Our pleasure. It's been an extremely exciting first round of action. And one thing that's been extremely unfair is Tampa Bay Lightning adding an Art Ross trophy winner to their lineup. Not paying any of the associated salary cap issues that would come with adding an Art Ross trophy to your lineup in the playoffs.
Yeah,
and
how'd
now
that work?
they got their foot on the throat of the Florida Panthers.
They do.
Let's talk about some of the stats here in a second, but let's start with this odds market here. We have Tampa Bay opening up at minus 150. There's been a 23-cent move to the Florida Panthers.
Makes sense. I think it makes sense.
Really?
I think so. I do think so, yeah.
This total opened up at 5.5. Pinnacle has just moved it to 6.
Yep.
And so all the other books will follow suit. If you like the over, get it at 5.5 right now. Don't let 6 be a push. Slats 45 says late to the party. NHL Tampa Bay money line minus 140. Tampa Bay regulation plus 110. And favorite bet Habs Leafs goal in the first 10 minutes, which has hit 8 out of its last 9. First, Ghoster, please break down why you think this market move towards the Florida Panthers makes sense.
Well, I did some deep diving here, guys, and a big thing you want to look at is expected goals. That's a big stat I like to look at. And expected goals for the Florida Panthers, guys, was 3.53 game 1, 3.21 game 2. So they've been putting a lot of pressure on Vasilevsky, as good as he played last game. It was a little shaky in game 1. But at home, he has been touched. I've seen it happen in the regular season. It is the playoff. It's a different beast. But the way Florida's playing, guys, they don't have much. It's their defense that's killing them. They don't have their defense, in my opinion, Jimmy, with Montour. I don't like that addition they got from Buffalo. And Keith Yandel and Gudas, they're just old, slow guys out there, like they're going to get burned. So it's going to be a high-scoring game. I like the move to the over. If you could get that 5.5 early, you're just laughing at that. I still played it at 6 at plus money. And I can see this first period going over as well. Just too much firepower, in my opinion, here, guys. Not to mention, I did a little deep diving in what's going on at the stadium here, guys, or the arena. Sorry, it's going to be loud and lit. What I mean by that is there's going to be noisemakers and clackers going on, along with these LED wristbands. So it's going to be loud and noisy in Tampa Bay. It's going to be kind of like game 1, I think, here, guys. So not to mention, I just saw in the chat there, Bennett's going to be back for Florida too. So that's another great addition for the Panthers there. They definitely missed him last game. So I just think Florida can't go down. They're down 3-0, Jim. They're done. They're already in trouble now, but expect this to be the best Florida effort. And they've already looked good in their first 2 games. So I would lean towards Florida. I like the overs better here just because, like I said, the defense for Florida, I just still can't trust it. But 4 lines for Florida can go.
Chris Drieger confirmed to be in net.
Another good time. Yeah.
I am a big fan of his. I expect him to be the starting goaltender for the Seattle Kraken next year. It was his 27th birthday, game 2. First postseason game since 2014 when he was playing for the Calgary Hitmen of the WHL.
West Coaster.
The Panthers have never won a series after dropping their first 2 games. Now, it's only happened in 3 previous occasions, but they've never won a series in that spot. But Drieger, I think, is the right choice. 14-6-3, 2.07 goals against average, 927 save percentage, 3 shutouts in the regular season. This Tampa Bay team is going to be loosey-goosey here. Stamkos missed final 16 games of the regular season, got his 3rd point of the series. He's obviously playing very, very well. Mm-hmm. It's the 7th time that the Lightning have won the first 2 games of a series. They've never lost a series when they've done that. They're 28-0-0, including both games of this series when leading after 2 periods. They've won 41 games like that in last year's truncated season and this year. 21-7-0 at home. Florida was the only team to beat the Lightning twice in their rink. Florida lost consecutive games on home ice for just the 2nd time this year. And as you said, Sam Bennett is going to be back in action. I'm surprised at this market move towards the Panthers. I'm surprised.
Yeah, that 28-0 you said there, Jim, that's quite outstanding there. So it's just this Florida team. I just think they're a different beast. It's a battle of Florida too. They have so much firepower, and the expected goals, Jim, is, I know it's numbers, but I think it's huge. If you have chances in front of you got to have the chances. Like if you look at teams like the Islanders and Pittsburgh, they're averaging like 2.5. It's a lot. It's not as much input there, guys, is what I'm trying to say. Sorry. But yeah, Tampa Bay, Florida, all season long too, guys, they've been high scoring games. Vasilevsky is a great goalie, but this is go time for Florida. They got the offense to do it, and it's going to be crazy in that game, that stadium, or in that arena, guys.
I don't get it.
I wouldn't be taking Tampa Bay at, if it was -1, it might be out of question, but -145, I'd be looking maybe Tampa Bay. But what is it now, Jim?
It is all the way down to -130.
See, now that's a little. The line's tough. The line's really tough.
The -1 line is a nice plus money spot.
Mm-hmm. Well, I like the over team totals. Maybe, guys, you look team total over. If you can get even 2.5 at, say, -125 for Florida, I like that. I can't see this being a low-scoring game as much as Florida doesn't want to get too involved with this Tampa Bay offense. But, Tampa Bay's third and fourth lines, Colton, Gord, Coleman, Maroon, Johnson, and Joseph, it's nothing to call home about. I would rather have what Florida has in lines 3 and 4. So it's advantage first two lines, Tampa, advantage 3-4 to Florida. So I just think it's going to go back and forth.
Well, I am going to move on the Tampa Bay Lightning on the -1 line at a plus price. I just see this as a look. Slatsy mentioned it in the chat. The loss of Ekblad was enormous.
Yeah,
I question whether Brandon Montour for a third-round draft pick was enough.
No,
and
I disagree with that. Yeah.
And we know Radko Gudas hits very, very hard, but he's slow. We know that Keith Yandel has to be your sixth defenseman and just a power play specialist. And you need him on the ice because you've got such weak defense. This is a wrong team to be going up against. I was not high on the Florida Panthers all year when others were so high on them. And look,
I do like your Tampa Bay play. I like the overs more here, guys. The line is more tempting towards Tampa Bay now, if anything, at -130, like Jim said. I'm not going to bet it just because I'm afraid of what Florida can do here. And I've seen Vasilevsky slip up in a couple games in the past. If they go down 3-0, there's no chance in hell. I think they'll lose the series 4-0. But yeah, tough game, guys. Tough game.
Robert Allen says, ouch, Jimmy, don't do it. Take the Panthers first period. That's the play in this game, dude.
Look, I like that, yeah.
Yeah, and I love Alexander Barkov. I'm an enormous Barkov fan. I think he's an absolutely spectacular player, top 5 center in the National Hockey League.
Mm-hmm.
But I see this Tampa Bay Lightning as, with the addition of Kucherov and Stamkos, we wondered how would they look. They look spectacular. This is now... It looks to me like it's a pretty simple Avalanche Lightning Stanley Cup final.
It's definitely looking like that, buddy. Yeah,
and I hate it.
All right, you got Colorado, don't you?
Just the fact that Tampa Bay was able to circumvent the cap the way they have.
Oh yeah, with the $17 million and stuff. Yeah.
So now they're just an absolute juggernaut. And okay, I am moving on the Tampa Bay Lightning -1. That's a -130, and I believe about a +180. I'll put it in the calculator, see what that pumps out. We move on, Gokster, to, God, isn't this fun? East first round, game 3. The series tied 1-1 between the Pittsburgh Penguins and the New York Islanders. Penguins 37-16-3, 15-12-1 on the road. Islanders 32-17-7, 21-4-3 at home. We're at Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. It's too bad they're not at Nassau. It's too bad. It's really too bad, and I think it's a huge mistake, but the Island, I don't know what the deal is and why they're there. The money line, Islanders opening up at -115. They're now at -110. I believe there was more movement than that. Let me just see what Pinnacle has done. Yeah, so Pinnacle opened up the Islanders at -112. The Islanders went up to -120.
Yeah.
And now they're dogs. So money coming in on Pittsburgh. I wonder if that has anything to do with a possible of Jenny Malkin.
Yeah. I saw a thing. Malkin was on the ice there before the show here. I did some research. He was on the ice, so it doesn't mean he's going to play because he did that game 1, I think. But it's a good sign.
Very, very dangerous because we know what happens. That's their power play.
Mm-hmm.
Becomes very, very special. Tristan Jarry stepped up. He stepped up, and I questioned whether he was capable of it. He stepped up in a huge way. He was very calm. They talk about how calm he is and cool and relaxed he is. 37 shots he turned aside. Pittsburgh evens the series with a 2-1 victory over the Islanders. The victory was the first in the playoffs for Jari and the second win for the Pittsburgh Penguins in their last 12 postseason games. Jeff Carter was an excellent pickup. He looks very, very good on the line with Kapanen and McCann. And I've always been a Jared McCann fan and wish that the Canucks kept him. Varlamov, he was unavailable for game 1. I questioned how he would look in game 2. I thought he looked good, 43 saves. And Barry Trotz says, I just thought the Penguins had more desperation in their game. And Trotz is capable of lighting a fire under you. It makes me think, are the Islanders live first period in game 3? Gokster, are you making moves here, Penguins, Islanders?
Ooh, first period on the Islanders, eh? Yeah, I don't mind it here. I was kind of getting at in the last game there when I was breaking it down. Expected goals here, guys, 2.09, 2.91. They're not scoring much here at all. The Malkin addition is going to be great. But, Barry Trotz, he led that Washington team to the Stanley Cup, so he knows how to get a team back in action here. So I right away, guys, I played first period under here, 1.5. I got it at minus 123. But missing Lee in front of the net has been huge for this team because I find they've been just shooting the puck and they're just useless shots they're shooting. And they got no one in front of the net to pick it up either. So they got to have better chances, the Islanders. I don't like what they've been doing offensively. They've been shooting high on Jari. They figured out he had a bad glove and they kept going high. But it just seemed like they didn't have great scoring opportunities. So they just got to think, especially their power play. God, do they ever have a bad power play? They got to get their offense going defensively. I think they'll be okay. But I like a first period under, guys, and this game to go to overtime. First game going to overtime here. I got that at plus 307. Low expected goals, 1-1, 2-2. I like this OT, guys, and first period under.
I like that. All makes sense to me. Robert Cherry's on the Avs puck line, Tampa Bay money line, -1.5. Islanders -1, and Islanders first period. Okay, and Penguins to win the game. I agree. I think that first period under 1.5 makes a lot of sense. I don't know what to make of this Malkin playing here and how that changes things.
I think it only boosts the team as the game goes on. It only helps Pittsburgh as the game goes on.
I thought this was a dead nuts under series until Jari's glove hand issues. Now that I know that Jari is going to have confidence now, and this possible addition of Malkin has moved the line to 5.5, how do I not take the full game under 5.5? I mean, that's got to be my most confident spot.
The only reason I took first period was just in case something happens with Jari, as they can make just because it's Jari and AHL, is he going to be able to do another 60 minutes? That's why I took first period. But I like the game to go to overtime, and I see a 1-1, 2-2 overtime. I don't see a 3-3, so I do like that play, Jim.
Well, I think that the Islanders did not play with the required passion to win a playoff game in game 2. And that's because they'd won game 1 and were able to sort of finesse their way into a victory, messing with Jari's glove hand. So I think that this Malkin sighting on the ice is a perfect opportunity to watch this total go up to 5.5 to take the under. That's what I'm going to do. I also think that the Islanders play with a different passion in the first period, and Trotzy lights a fire under them. And I want to back them first period. I'm not going to take a -0.5. I need the tie to be a push. Mm-hmm. So 2 moves for me. I'm on the under 5.5. And I'm also going to be on the Islanders first period.
So we're pretty similar there. I got first period under, Jim. You got full game under. We're liking the unders here, guys. That's one of the ones me and Jimmy so far have like the same here. So,
all right, a very, very fun game. I can't wait to watch it.
Great.
Can't wait to watch it. All right, let's move on to the biggest playoff series north of the border in a long, long time. 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Montreal Canadiens 24-21 and 11. 11-10-7 on the road at the Toronto Maple Leafs 35-14-7, 18-7-3 at home. Scotiabank Arena in Toronto, Ontario. The Habs are getting reinforcements. They're getting reinforcements. Weber going to be in the lineup. Gallagher
over there.
Say what?
It's a shit show over there with what they're doing to their lineups, eh?
Their lineup is the only thing that I think is a mistake, and I think they'll change it after they lose game one.
Exactly. I know where you're going with this.
Is Cole Caulfield.
Yeah. Even Kotkaniemi and Romanov there. They're young guys, but that when they were winning all these games at the beginning of the year, this was the guys, maybe not Kotkaniemi, but that defenseman. If you need offense, he's their guy. Anyway, sorry.
You need spark.
And Caulfield, yeah.
I tell you who hasn't given them any spark other than the first game he played is Eric Stahl.
Slow Stahl, yeah.
So I don't know. You want these guys like Cole Caulfield, they can change the energy of a game. And that's what you need. And you could have a line that doesn't plays 8 minutes in the game. And you use it to change momentum. And I think it's an error not having Cole Caulfield out on the ice for 7 or 8 minutes, give him some power play time, because he's an electric type of youngster who can change the momentum.
Yeah.
So I do think it's a mistake. I do think they'll be galvanized with Weber back. I mean, we know what kind of player he is. Gallagher, I think, is their best forward. I mean, it's a pretty easy thing to say. He's going to help the Habs. The Habs are going to have a lot of life. And the Leafs know how big this series is. I already moved on the Leafs. I got them -1. I believe I got it -128 on the -1 line. Let me double check that. But give us your breakdown and let us know if you're making a move on this game, Ghoster. Habs, Leafs.
That's it. I'm right in between Montreal and Toronto, so I'll try and be even-keeled here. But, this Toronto team, I actually, similar to Jim, I like regulation, -124 Toronto reg. They're just not going to be able to keep up with this Toronto speed. You know, you need Caulfield. You need a quick guy like that. He's like a Marner. He's like their Marner, in my opinion. Very quick, good hands, brings out a lot of players' best game. They're just going to be too slow. They're not going to be able to keep up with Toronto here in game one, guys. Price is coming off of a stint in Laval. He gave up actually 2 goals in the first period. Whatever, it was against the Marlies, but still, he's coming in. Eventually, I think Montreal is going to look better as they get all these guys back. They get their lines back in cohesion there. But right now, I'd have to look Toronto, especially with Campbell in net. Bogosian's going to be back for Toronto. That's a great defensive player to have in the playoffs, a big, strong guy. They're actually sitting Dermott, so Dermott's not going to be in. Bogosian is. And Riley Nash, Jim. Remember Riley Nash?
Of course.
He should be playing, and from what I've been seeing, he's going to be on the third line playing center with who's he in there with? Where are we here? Sorry, guys, with Mikheyev and Kerfoot. So he's a great centerman there. He's going to win a lot of faceoffs. It's just going to be too much for Montreal, especially seeing this Montreal team stumbling into the way to the playoffs. So I'd have to look Toronto regulation -124. That's probably my best play on the card.
I think this is just a different Leaf squad. They have all – this is – okay, first off, I've said it out loud on the show. This is the best Toronto Maple Leafs team in my lifetime. Appreciate that, Jim. I know that that's taken some abuse from the 1993 Leafs. I don't think it should. This team has, captains all over the dressing room, and they're going to be able to handle the ups and downs. I also think that the Canadiens aren't as bad as their statistics will lead you to believe. They did lose 7 of 10 regular season meetings to the Leafs. Of all 16 playoff teams, the Habs had the worst season. Their points percentage, their 50.527 was lower than the Stars and the Rangers, who didn't make the playoffs. They won fewer games than the Rangers, Flames, and Flyers, all non-playoff teams. Their goals per game and goals allowed, neither were in the top half of the NHL. Yeah, their 27.9 hits per 60 minutes was the best in the league. So they play because they never had the puck. Yeah, they don't have the puck. One thing, but they're not a big team. But they throw their body around. By the way, the Leafs were 27th, but they have the puck all the time. Their 8 minutes and 18 seconds of penalty minutes is the top of all the Canadian playoff teams. The Leafs only 657 were the fewest. I think they're making a mistake with Cole Caulfield out, and I think that the Leafs -1 in game 1 is a pretty easy bet here. Slatsy says 100% agree with Caulfield. Stahl's being brutal, but the whole world's on the Leafs. And with Price versus Campbell, Galley, and Anderson, speed of the fourth line versus old Leafs, fourth line, pressure time for the Leafs. I don't know. DC, go get paid, my man. Have a great afternoon betting the horses. So I really believe that the Leafs are just a better hockey team, and I'm on the Leafs.
Yeah, I agree completely. Yeah, the Byron, Evans, and Lehkonen line will be going up against Thornton, Spezza, and Simmons. I'd rather those experienced guys, to be honest. It's a different, that's a lot faster with Byron and Evans compared to the Toronto fourth line. But we haven't even talked about Toronto's defense yet. Their defense has been the best it's been in a long time with Riley, Brody, Muzzin, Hall. Hall's been a great addition coming up in the AHL. And they're going with Sandin, young Rasmus Sandin with Bogosian. So I also like that as well. McDermott didn't look good. I remember in the last playoff series, he's been up and down. He's kind of a work in progress. I think that guy still. So I like the lineup for Toronto. This could even be a puck line win, to be honest. This isn't the game for Montreal. I do think Montreal will win a game. As the series goes on, guys, I think Montreal gets better, especially with Price, Gallagher, all these guys coming back. It only makes sense. They're going to get better. But Toffoli and Suzuki are the guys you got to look out for Montreal guys. Those two guys working in a good tandem together. So that's the guys that if you want to do goal scoring prop, I would probably look towards those two, Toffoli and Suzuki.
Great breakdown. A very, very, very fun series we have up here for us in the North.
No fans, but
yeah, of course. But and when whatever team comes out of the Canadian division is going to be at just this enormous disadvantage, just this huge disadvantage.
Yeah, I heard like June 1st they want to know like are there going to be fans? Is Toronto going to get fans? It doesn't look like it the way we're trending here, but I don't know. They got to make a decision. The NHL wants to know what's going on up north.
As they should. I've heard that everything's going to open up here on June 2nd, but we'll see. 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Next up on the docket, first round Game 3 series, Las Vegas Golden Knights. Vegas Golden Knights, 40-14-2, 19-9-0. Dominated the regular season. They were excellent against everybody except for the Minnesota Wild. We're at XL Energy Center in St. Paul, Minnesota. The Golden Knights hadn't faced a 2-0 deficit in their first 8 playoff series since joining the league, and they won't here either. And look, everybody knows I'm just insanely jealous of the Golden Knight fans and this spectacular run that they've been on with Vegas, and that's just coming from a Canuck fan. It's just awful. Benning's going to come back from another year. I'm just jealous. I'm jealous of this past hockey team, and so I take it out when I cap them, and I apologize for that. Tuck had 2 goals. Marc-Andre Fleury has been so good. Knights still playing without Max Pacioretty, and I've said that every year I've capped Vegas with Pacioretty in lineup that, this guy breaks down. He breaks down. He's not going to be available when push comes to shove. That's happened here. So they have no Pacioretty. Thomas Nosek also left the game in the first period after getting hit by Marcus Foligno, whom I love.
He's not coming back, I don't think.
No. And this Wild team believes in themselves. They're 6-0-2 all time against the Golden Knights in St. Paul. And game 2 was so different than game 1. Yes, Vegas won it, but the Wild outshot the Knights 17-10 in the first period. They outshot them 35-28 in the game. They've outscored Vegas 53-42 in the 18 games they played against Vegas since Vegas came in the league in 2017.
Wow.
They've held Vegas to 2 or fewer goals in 11 of those 18 games. Northander says Fleury the best goalie, Makar best team, and McKinnon best forward. Dennis Garcia says Vegas wins. I tell you what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to bet on Minnesota. I think Vegas is a better hockey team than them.
Yeah.
But how are you playing?
You know what I did? You know what I did? I did the same as I did in the Islander-Pittsburgh game here, guys. I'm taking OT. I can't determine who's going to win this game, and it's been pretty tight in both these series. And defense, I've been going on about how good Minnesota's defense is. Talbot, he's also playing. This Minnesota team's a scary team. They could actually go far if you think about it. How they're all meshing right at the right time, especially Talbot. If he keeps playing like how he is, look out for this team. But Vegas, they got Tuck, Stevenson, Stone, Marchessault, Carlson, Smith, Yanmark, Nosak's out. Roy, Carrier, Colser, and Reeves. I don't know. I like you say, Jim. I like Vegas and all, but I don't think they're as good as they like when they're not playing good. They're not playing good. And defensively, they got Haig and Whitecloud, their third line defensing pair. That's not a good defense pair. I'd rather take Soucy and Cole all day for Minnesota. It's a real tough spot. I think it's going to go to OT, but I wouldn't be surprised if Minnesota pulls this one out. It's pretty much minus 105, 2 on each side, guys. Just the way this hockey, it's been trending. Fleury's the difference maker. This is my favorite goalie in the league by far. You watch this guy play, it's insane. You'll pull a groin if you try to imitate anything he does. Like he's insane for how he plays hockey. But he has to stand on his head, I think, a little too much. I don't like what I see from Vegas' D for the most part, and their offense isn't doing what you thought it would do. And as much as we don't like Pacioretty, he's going to be a great addition when he comes back. But like Jim says, he's never healthy, so. I look towards an OT under in Minnesota here, guys. I know that's 3 picks, but I like OT the best.
If I had a free play, I would bet on Vegas. But yeah, oh, definitely, without a doubt. In fact, I could even pull the trigger. I just think Vegas is a better hockey team than Minnesota Wild. Vegas been there and done that. They have experience. But this Wild team believes in themselves. And in hockey, I have a real belief when I make a bet. I have a real edge. And this is just, I think Vegas is a better hockey team. It's all of the statistics are pointing towards the Wild being a very, very tough team for Vegas to play against. And now you lose another forward. So I'm not going to bet on Vegas, but if money continues to come in on the Wild, I certainly. Yeah,
if the Wild go over minus 120, I wouldn't take it. Minus 115 is probably the push. Like that's as far as I'd go. I think the opposite, Jim. I think Vegas is a little overrated. I don't like what I've seen, especially this year. And I think Minnesota's like Carolina kind of. They're just a team that's really good defensively. They're getting really good goaltending from guys you wouldn't think of as Neto, Djokovic, and Talbot. So it's tough, but especially at home to Minnesota. Vegas is Vegas, but the way they're playing, I have to take Minnesota, and minus 105, I like it. But I like OT. I'm going to stick with the OT. Something's telling me this is I can't fade Vegas too. It's a real tough game, guys, as you can tell, but OT, and I wouldn't be surprised if Minnesota wins an OT.
Clearly, man, on the under 5.5. I've lost my odds page right now. Let me just go over and see what Bet365 is doing with this spot. They have Wild at minus 115, Vegas at minus 105, the total at 5.5, juice to the under. Mm-hmm. I thought the under in the last game was very easy, and I'm hesitant to go back to the well. I didn't initially see this as being a really low-scoring series. I just thought that after the Wild won game 1, that the only option for Vegas was to play really tight and then counterattack. Yeah. I don't know if I feel that way here. Can you review your dressing room gas station? Yes. Can you review your action in this Vegas, Minnesota one more time?
So Vegas, Minnesota, I'm going to take OT here, over-unders. It's tough. I think someone's telling me Minnesota. Similar, I took Tampa Bay the other night. I think it's Minnesota. They've called up Glass and Secura too from Henderson, AHL team. So maybe they can give them a spark if they slip in. One of them is actually going to be slipping in for Nosak. So I don't know, Jim. It's a tough one, but I can't fade Minnesota. What they're doing is they're not giving Vegas any room to work with. Like their defenses, they're doing what you got to do. And even around the net too, they're really, it's risky, but they got really active sticks. Like they're really standing on their heads for Talbot. Like Talbot's playing good, but Talbot knows his defense is playing, their asses off for him. So, and Fleury, I don't think Fleury feels the same. I think Fleury knows he's got to play like his best because there could be 2-on-1s coming out of nowhere from this Minnesota team and Fiala and Caprill the Thrill. So I think Minnesota is just too dangerous. I think it's a bad matchup for Vegas.
There you have it. That is the final playoff game on the card. Let's review our action. And Who doesn't love the dressing room? Look, unless you've been bullied in it up in Canada, which has happened.
Well, you don't talk about that.
Don't talk about okay. Please, Ghoster. I don't want to open up an old wound. Ghoster, can you please?
No. Just, the stories. Yeah, we used to beat up some kids back in the day, but you don't talk about it because you just don't want it to come back to, the waters. Anyway.
Ghoster. An investigation is now underway, Ghoster, by the way. An investigation.
It's a long time ago. There's too much gray area.
There he is, finally. Sorry, we have to stop everything. Ixnizzle 420. God, Ixnizzle, I went undercover looking for you. I went undercover. I messaged a couple of your buddies that I don't know. I went undercover.
That's awesome.
I got on a Facebook account and scoped you out and tried to figure out how do I get Ixnizzle back in action. All is good, man. I'm so happy you're back. It's great to see you.
Awesome.
Mr. Ghoster, could you please review your NHL action?
All right, guys, let's go from the top. I got these out of order. Pittsburgh, New York Islanders, first period under in OT. Next one here, best bet of the day. I think Toronto just wipes Montreal clean here, sends them back to the toilet. Florida, Tampa Bay. I like the over. Full game over 6 plus 106. I think I got that at. And this Vegas, Minnesota game, let's take an OT, and I lean towards Minnesota on the money line.
My action, as you know, I'm already on the Leafs -1 and -128.
Yeah.
I'm going to move on the under 5.5 in the Penguins Islanders game. I love the announcement of Malkin being in the lineup. I'm also going to move on the Islanders first period.
Yeah, I like that under.
And I'm moving on to Tampa Bay Lightning -1.
That's going to be a game.
Tampa Bay Lightning -1. That is my action. Man, it makes me so happy to see Schnizzle back with us. Of course, there's oftentimes taking a break is important. Look at our guy, Big Mastro. He had dealt with a death in his family and just wanted to take a break. Took that break, came back, and picked up $250K and got kicked out of Betway. And is no longer allowed to bet at Betway. Ghoster, what a treat it is to roll with you, my guy. Thank you for sharing your insights. We hope to see a lot more of you on this show and on this channel, Pub Sports Radio, with the playoffs here. Where can they follow you on Twitter, and do you have any last words?
Yeah, I just want to thank everyone for tuning into the show, Betting with the Bag, Jimmy for hosting it, Pub Sports, all you guys. It's a real treat. We'll keep it going. Cash and tickets, it's what it's all about here, guys. And follow me on Twitter, ego47_. I post a lot of NHL, MLB, Korean baseball, golf. We do it all. But yeah, guys, thanks for tuning in. Best bets I'll also post on Twitter in case you guys missed them. And yeah, let's cash some tickets.
There he is, Mr. Ghoster, Belleville's finest right there. We have 12 minutes before the Babano and CMAC MLB show, which gives us a second just to review all of our action. We are on the Tampa Bay Rays, first 5 -1/2. That game is underway. I wish I was on the under 4.5 in first 5 Giants Reds, but I didn't move on that.
Nice. I hit that no score first inning.
Oh, beautiful. Great work. Great work. Nats team total over 4.5. I think it's just too juiced, and the Cubs bullpen is just too good. Yeah. So I don't. It's -135. I don't think I'm going to move on. That's just too much. Houston Astros first 5 -1/2 at +100. I will move on. Then the double dip in the Twinkies Angels. I'm off. First 5 over 4 in Marlins Phillies. That was a spot that the chat has talked me into. The taint play of the day, Atlanta first 5 -1/2. I will tail. Jose, our man on the 1s and 2s, is on the Red Sox +126 money line. And in NBA, I'm going to move on the Pacers first quarter money line and Bertans over 11.5 points. That is my action. Do you have any other action, Ghoster, in MLB or NBA that you want to share?
What else? I like Miami first 5, and I also took Atlanta with the taint, and I also took Atlanta score first. So let's get that taint home.
Let's get that taint home. We got Schnizzle back in action. It's great to see you. Great to see all you guys. Thank you so much for supporting the show. Glenn Elliott, man, Robert, Cherry, Giants up 1-0 in the first. Interesting. Yeah, it was a great call by Matt Randall, I think, on that spot. Sharp Money, Schnizzle back with us. Rocky Manichetti, Glenn Elliott, man. Razor Sharp Picks. Check out Razor Sharp Picks. Thoroughbred show tonight. Hopefully, Mr. Gokster can be on that as well. I'll be on for the last few races at Emerald Downs. Vitalis, Amster 420, Brian Watson, Po Buddies Nerfic, Trotwam, Gas Station Sushi, Robert Cherry, Zach Condiff, Jacksonville Zoe, all you guys. Thank you guys so much for your support. You have 10 minutes to make a sandwich, pour yourself a coffee, and get over to Babano and C-Max show. Mr. Gokster, can you leche us out of here?
Well, guys, as we do best, we're going to do a little leche a los bookmakers.
Where's the bang bang, Preston? Come on.
I can't breathe.
Pub Sports Radio. Come find us in Southtown 101. Subscribe on YouTube and all platforms where podcasts are found.